SQL Server 2008 R2. Okay, so already we discussed the versions in SQL Server, right? SQL Server has started in 1981. So we have, so let me once again, SQL Server history. So when is that SQL Server has started? Microsoft started this. So let us understand the SQL Server history. So the first version is started SQL Server 1.0, which is started in 1981. Then we have SQL Server. Okay, we have SQL Server 2.0. Then we have SQL Server 3.0. Okay, then we have SQL Server 5.0, SQL Server 7.0. Okay, then we have SQL Server 2000. Okay, then we have SQL Server 2005. Then we have SQL Server 2008. Okay, then you have SQL Server 2008 R2. These many releases we have now. Okay, now the latest version is SQL Server 2012. The another name is Denali. Okay, these are the versions that they have released in the market. Okay, so now 1981, they've started SQL Server 1.0. Then I don't remember. This is 1998, I think, or 97. This is 2000, and then you have years. So what are the features they have? This is the name of. This is the year, and what are the features they had it initially? So initially they had pure RDBMS only. The pure RDBMS tool. So till 2005 RDBMS, but here included MSBI also. Okay, so now 2005 onwards. Oh, it is 2000. Sorry. Okay, so 2005 onwards, so they had made a complete shift. Now all these are now MSBI plus RDBMS tools. Okay, now all this. So what is the version we are using? If you ask me, the version we are using is using this version. So what is the version we are going to currently use? This version. So this is the version we are using. Okay. So but SQL Server RDBMS tool initially, but as of now, which is RDBMS plus MSBA. That means what? Which is a data storing tool and which is a data analyzing tool. BA is for analysis purpose. Okay. So that's what we have to understand. So if somebody asks what is the version you have used, then you have to clearly say I'm using SQL Server 2008 R2. SQL Server 2008 release 2. Okay. So this has got released. This has got released in year 2008, and this has got released in year 2010. Okay, and this has got released in year 2012. There is a huge difference between SQL Server 2000 and SQL Server 2008 R2. So if in interview, people may ask, what is the version you have used? You may say, I have used SQL Server 2008 R2. R2 means release 2. Okay. So that's what you have to be clear with. So these many releases we had. SQL Server 2012 is released last year, and which is also known as SQL Server Denali. Okay, the Denali is the code name. So you may refer them as a 2012 edition or Denali edition. Okay. Now let us understand the database architecture. Uh, if you take your laptop or my computer, in a single computer, you can install SQL Server 50 times. I think this might be a shocking news for you. If normally you need to install any software only once, but now I am telling you something different. What is it I am telling? In a single computer, it can be your laptop or my laptop, you can install SQL Server 50 times. Now, definitely you will ask, is it possible? The answer is yes. Then if yes, then another question you ask is why? Why is that we have to install SQL Server 50 times in a single computer? Okay. So for that question, my answer would be, so let us discuss like this. Now you think of a Wipro. Wipro is the company, and this is your company Wipro. Okay. Wipro responsibility is to maintain the company, other companies' data. For example, Apollo's data will be maintained by Wipro. Yashoda Hospital data maintained by Wipro, or Khajana jewelry data, or any other company data is completely outsourced to IT companies. So Wipro is maintaining other companies' data. Now, what is the choice they have? They have to buy hardware. So they'll buy a hardware. This is one hardware. This is another hardware. This is another hardware. They'll buy hardware. So once they buy hardware, they have to put what? Hardware plus they have to buy software also. Okay, they have to buy software. What kind of software they have to buy? Operating system, then MS Office, SQL Server, antivirus. So each and everything they have to buy. So for each and every client, if I wanted to install or the capture or the store a company's data, then I am buying a hardware and installing the software. So I need to buy hardware plus buy hard software, then install both of them, then keep the company's data here, keep their company's data. Like that, here also the same issue. You buy hardware, software, and you keep the data of the company. But the question is, this you may give it to Apollo Hospital. Okay. This you may give it to Care Hospital. This may you give it to, say, Airtel. Airtel. Like that, you have few companies' data with you. For each and every company, you're buying hardware and you're buying software and you're installing SQL Server and you're storing data there. Now, the question is, are we storing 100% data in each server? The answer may not be yes. Okay. So here I am storing only 37% of the data, remaining is free. And in this second server, I am storing only 66% of the data, remaining the data, the space is unutilized. Here I am storing only 72% and remaining goes waste. So that means all hardwares you have bought it, you have installed softwares, but you are not utilizing 100%. You are not utilizing 100%. So definitely for each and every company, the price would go. Why? Hardware would be say 2 lakhs rupees plus software. Windows operating system say some 1 lakh, then antivirus at 10,000 rupees, then this one, that one, everything put together, it will become lakhs of rupees. So what Microsoft says is, you don't do that. Don't buy different servers. Instead of buying different servers, you buy a big hardware. So here you buy a big hardware. In the hardware, one operating system, only one software. So hardware, and you install one software. Okay. Inside this hardware, you install many SQL Server setup. This is SQL Server 1. This is SQL Server 2. This is SQL Server 3. This is SQL Server 4. This is SQL Server 5. Like that, all of them are called SQL Server. SQL SS1. So here you have SS2. What is SS? SQL Server 2. Here you have SQL Server 3. Like that, you can have till SQL Server 50 setups you can have. So dot. That means what is the use? The use is You need not buy 50 hardwares. That is one advantage. You need not buy 50, operating systems. You need not buy 50 antivirus softwares. You need not buy 50, SQL servers. So you can buy only one SQL server, or you can buy only one software, one hardware, but you can install 50 times a SQL server. So what is the advantage? There is a huge advantage here. The space in the room also, because if you take a bigger space unnecessarily, if you buy 50 servers and install 50 SQL servers or 50 softwares, definitely the space will be more. So instead of buying many hardwares, you buy a single hardware, but you install 50 SQL server setups. So each SQL server would act as an independent hardware only. So Apollo people think that my server is a separate server. Care Hospital people think that my server is a separate server. But we have kept all of them in a single hardware only. So like that, you can save hardware cost, you can save software cost. Okay. In first instance, that is known as default instance here. So whenever you install a first instance here, the first instance is known as a default instance. Okay. In your laptops also, you would have installed default instance only. The second to 49 instances are known as named instances. So all these are what? Named. So that means what? Whenever you install the second instance, you have to provide a name to the instance. Okay. But first instance will take Windows name as a SQL Server name. For example, in my laptop, so let me open my SQL Server. So where is my SQL Server? I'm just opening my SQL Server. Server setup. Okay. Now, what is my SQL Server name? It is clearly saying Apple PC. Okay. Now, let me show you my Windows name. Go to my computer, right click and properties. What is my Windows name? Computer name is Apple PC. That means whenever I install default instance always take Windows name as a default instance name. So my Windows name is Apple PC. My default instance name also would be Apple PC. Okay, this is my default instance. Let's see, this is Apple PC. That means when you install the first instance, this is a default instance. Default instance always takes what? It takes Windows name as a SQL name. Windows name will be SQL name here. But the second time onwards, when you install the setup second time, then here you have to provide the name. You can say the second instance is Apollo. The third instance is Care. Like that, we have to provide names to each and every instance. The fourth, say Ranga, Meena, Sujata, Bhaskar, whatever it is, you can give a different instance names to different instances. So, in a single computer, in a single laptop or a single desktop, you can have one default instance and you can have 49 named instances. Okay, so each instance can store, one instance can store Apollo data, the other instance can store some other data. Like that, you can have different data. In this, you can have Apollo data. In this, you can have, say, Yashoda hospital data. Now, in this, you can have Care hospital data. Like that, you can have different companies' data. And in the next instance, you can have some other data. Like that, each company's data is stored in different instances. But all these instances will act as different servers. That is what you have to understand. Okay, so this is definitely a big good advantage for the client as well as for the Wipro also. Why? Because client, the cost of the hardware will not be there. Only one hardware and one software will be there. So Wipro will also reduce the cost for each and every client. So it is definitely a big advantage for the people. Laptops, you can also try the second instance, third instance. Okay, so it can be a laptop or it can be a big hardware also. Now let us understand in SQL Server in single setup what all you can have. In a single setup, you can have 32,767 databases. So database is the place where you can store your data. Okay, so in a single SQL Server or in a single Oracle or in a single RDBMS tool, you can create these many databases. Now Oracle, the number would vary, but here in SQL Server, the number is 32,767 databases per setup. So if you have 50 setups, 50 into 32,767 databases. Okay. What is the purpose of database? Database actually would store your data. Okay. Now let us understand what is a database. What does a database contain? Database contain 32,767 file groups, and a database contain one or more transaction log files. In SQL Server, in Oracle, you take any RDBMS system, database means database will contain a file group, database will contain a transaction log file. So there is no limitation for the transaction log file, but there is a limitation for a file group. So you may ask me, what is a file group? File group is nothing but a folder in Windows. Okay. Normally we'll create folder in Windows, right? We'll say Hindi Gana ka ek folder. So like Tamil songs, English songs, like that. For each and everything, you keep a folder, you create a folder and keep those songs there. Okay. Or you say Rahul data, Bhaskar's data. So Rahul data is available in single folder, Bhaskar data is available in another folder. So what is the purpose of the folder? Folder is used to group some data. Like that, the file group is nothing but it is dissimilar to folder only. Folder, whatever the purpose you understand, right? The folder. File group was also which will group the files, which will, you can keep few files in one file group, other files in another file group. So which is similar to folder in Windows. Now what is a transaction log file? Transaction log file is just like a file and which stores automatically data. Now it is similar to a CC camera in the office. So whenever you install a CC camera in the office, what happens? When you switch on the CC camera, automatically which records each and everything in the company. Camera recordings, whenever any problem occurs, we're going to replace CC camera recordings. So it is similar to that. Transaction log file is it is similar to CC camera. So whenever you create a database, automatically this transaction file will start capturing the each and every action which you perform inside the database. You may delete the data, you may insert the data, you may update the data, you connect, you delete, you modify, you read. Whatever you do, everything will be recorded. Why? Tomorrow, if something goes wrong in the database, you can recover the data using transaction log file. Okay, so you have to be very clear. So let us understand what are the points we discussed. Okay, the points we discussed is default instance and named instances. Okay, so we discussed about default instance and named instances. So you can have one default instance, okay, in a single computer, and you can have 49 named instances in a single computer. That's what we discussed so far. Okay. Now, in a single instance, you can have 32,767 DBs databases. Okay. So each database will have a file group. Okay. So each DB will have, I'm going to repeat once, don't worry. Okay. Each DB will have file group and okay, we'll have point number 1. Each DB will have file group. Okay. Then each DB will have a transaction log file. Okay, so you may ask me, what is a file group? What is a file group? Okay, so the file group is nothing but which is similar to, it is similar to Windows. Now in Windows operating system, you can see lots of folders. So file group is similar to folder only. Okay, in Windows we'll say folder, in SQL Server we'll say file group. What is a file group? File group means which is similar to folder only. Okay, so it is similar to folder. What is the purpose of a folder? Folder is there to separate the data. Telugu songs one side, Hindi songs another side, English songs another side, Gujarati songs another side. Okay, like that, folders are used to separate the data. Like that, file groups are used to separate the data. Okay, so it is similar to a folder in Windows. Now you may ask, what is a transaction log? Okay, what is a transaction log file? Okay, it is a file and it is used to capture the data or capture the transactions automatically. So which is similar to, I told, which is similar to CC camera in your office. In CC camera, when you install, what happens automatically, if you do whatever action in the office, everything is recorded. Like that, transaction log file will capture each and every action when you perform anything. What actions you perform in a database? You insert data, you delete data, you update data, you read data. So, or you create something. So whatever action you perform, each and everything is nothing but a transaction. So each and everything is captured automatically. Why it is capturing? So you can recover the data. Recover the data when there is an emergency. Okay, there is an emergency, you can recover the data. Only this purpose the transaction log file is used. So why is that CC camera used? If something happened to in your company, you would like to see why, what happened, who has taken that, and you would like to analyze the situation. And if possible, you can by seeing the pictures and all, you can recover the the lost item. Like that, in the transaction log file, each and everything will be recorded automatically by SQL Server. And if something goes wrong inside the database, you can using transaction log file, you can recover the data. Clear? So Vamshi and Funny and Kavya is clear. So that's what you have to understand. Yeah. Yeah. No, which is not a data store. Now see, when you see, no, we still did not go to that level as of now. No, no, no. See, I told you, whenever you open a company, you fix a CC camera, right? CC camera, do you understand CC camera? Okay. The CC camera is there. If something goes wrong in the office, you can see the recordings and you can identify what was the issue. That's it. Okay. But actually, CC camera will not do anything else. CC camera will record each and every event and which will just keeping it. But the company would do different operations. All of them is completely different than the CC camera operations. Is it clear or not? Or I think you confused. Okay, you can just ask me, you can repeat the question if you're not clear. Okay, so as of now, you understand, you started a company, in the company you just fixed the CC camera. Clear? So whenever you go to company, your picture is captured. Whenever you come out of the company, your picture is captured. Everything is captured like that. Okay. So that's what is happening as of now. Okay. So you just Understand only that point. Then later you can ask me some more questions. Okay. Now, in a single database, we have file group. I told you file group is a folder, and we have a transaction log file. Transaction log file is just like a CC camera, which will capture the events which are happening in the company or which are happening in the database. But now, when I store my data, where is my data is going to go? That's where you have to have a file within the file group. Okay, we have to have file within the file group. Now, file group is a folder. Folder cannot store data. To store data, we have to have a file. So here one file group can have 32,767 files. Now, file is the place where actual data is stored. When you create a database and when you create an employee table there, the employee table data will come to file. The file will be part of a file group. If you have a file, that file will be part of a folder, right? So in Windows, like that, if you create a file, that file is part of a file group. Now, whenever you create employee table, the employee table data will come to a file only. But whenever you create a file or whenever you create a employee table, the transaction log file will say that this time this file has been created and this file created by Bhaskar. And all of them will be captured in the transaction log file, but actual data is stored in the file only. Okay? Now, each file group can have one or more files. Each file is responsible for storing data. Now, what is a file? File will have one or more extents. So, what is extent? Extent means one extent means 8 number of pages is known as one extent. Okay, in the extent what happens is one table's data is stored in one or more pages. Okay, this is what you have to understand. So let me give you one more clear picture so that you would understand clearly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now let me take a file. Which file I'm talking about? I'm talking about the file which is here, which is the file. I'm talking about this file. I'm not talking about the transaction log file. Transaction log file, I told you. What is a transaction log file? Transaction log file will say that, automatically which will record each and every event which is happening in the transactional, in the database. But actual data is not captured there. Actual data is captured where? Actual data will come to file group. From file group, which will come to this file. Okay, this file. Now let us understand this file architecture. Okay, so this file is like this, and this file is divided into number of pages. Page number 1, page number 3, page number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that we have. Okay, so each page will have a page number. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 7, and this 1. So 8 contiguous pages are called. That means from 1 to 8, from here to here, from 1 to 8, this is known as one extent. Okay, so extent means what? 8 pages. Extent means 8 pages. So if you open a Word document will have many number of pages, right? So each and every page is part of an extent. What is extent? 8 pages are called one extent. Then from here you will start another extent. From here to here, this is another extent. Extent number 2. Here also you will have 8 number of pages. Okay, so that's what you need to understand. Now this is what is known as a page. This is page, and the page size is 8 kilobytes. This is fixed. Now say this is also a page. Okay, what is the size? 8 kilobytes. So what is extent size? Extent size is 8 into 8, 64 KB. Okay, so page size is what? Okay, so now Whenever you create a table called employee table, for example, I'm going to create a table now. This table is called say employee table. Okay. Now the employee table data would directly come to these pages. Now here the data gets filled, all these places. Okay. Now physical data would come here and sits. Okay. Now you create another table. So let me create another table called department table or say student marks. So student table you have. You are storing the marks. So all the data of marks of the students also will come here, and this data is also get stored here. Okay. Now if one extent is full, then which will go to another extent. Then it will start filling the data. That means end of the day, your data will come to a page. The page is part of an extent. The extent is part of a file. The file is part of a file group. The file group is part of a database. Clear? So like that we have to understand. So let me show you this picture. Now, whenever say this file will have lots of extents, and each extent can have one or more pages. So 8 pages are called one extent, and in each page you will have a table. DB object in the sense table. Okay, so you can say this is table. This is a table file. Okay. Now here. Okay. So one table data can go to one or more pages. One table data can go to one or more pages. So this is how you have to understand. Clear? So this file extension is I'm talking about. This file extension is .mdf file. Okay. The extension of the file this would be .mdf, or this can be .ndf also. .mdf or .mdf. What about the log file extension? Log also will have extension. Okay. So log file extension is a .ldf. Okay. So data file extension. Data file means actual data is stored. Data file extension would be .mdf or .ndf. Okay. Inside the database, we have two kinds of files. Okay. The first file is transaction log file. The second file is normal file. This is MDF file. This is LDF file. Okay. So the file actually will store the original data, but transaction log file will store each and every one who came, what is that he had done. Each and every action is captured in the transaction log file, but original data is captured in the file. Okay. Table, department table, this table, that table, all the data will come to, which will go to this file group. From this file group, which will come to this file, and this file will have number of extents, and each extent will have pages. In this page, you will have a table data. Clear? So you have to be very clear like this. Very clear like this. Any questions? Any or anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pani, any other questions? Because you were talking about the data only, right? Now you're clear, right? So we have actual data would come to a file, but normal, whenever you insert, 100 rows. Now transaction log file will say, Funny has come at 10 o'clock in the morning. He inserted 100 rows. So that is the data is captured in the transaction log file. But original, those 100 rows will be captured in the file. Okay? So whenever Kavya comes and Kavya deletes data, so transaction log file says Kavya came at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and she deleted say 20 rows. The actual 20 rows, which is deleted, the actual delete would happen in the file. Okay, but whatever Kavya does, the action and event, everything is captured in the transaction log file. Like tomorrow, if a company would like to audit, saying that who are the people who came last month and deleted my data, then in that they can easily identify Kavya is the person. She visited on 10th of May and she has deleted the data. So for auditing purpose, you can use a transaction log file, or data recovering purpose, you can use a transaction log file. Is it clear? Ani and Kavya.
Yeah, clear.
Yeah.
To who's the person who came and deleted the data? So what you have to be clear with. Okay. So I ask one more question. Can I change the page size? What is the page size in SQL Server? Can I change the page size? SQL Server, the answer is no. You cannot change the page size. Page size is 8 kilobytes, that cannot be changed. Okay. Now let me give you one more question. What is the question I'm going to ask is, if size is 1 MB, then find out number of pages and extents. Okay. So how do we do that? How? Answer. If I want to find out number of pages, what is the formula? I have to understand the divided by the page size. Okay. So what is the file size here? The file size is 1 MB. 1 MB means 1024 KB. By what is the page size? 8. Okay. The answer is 1024 by 8. So what is that we'll get? Tell me. So let us do some calculation. 1024 divided by 8. So we will get 128 pages. Okay. But how do I identify number of extents? Number of extents is equal to same file size divided by extent size. Okay. So what is the file size now? File size is 1024. Extent size is 64. So the answer is 16 extents. Okay. Here we have 128 pages. So depends upon the the file size, you would understand the number of pages and number of extents. Okay. Now the next question is, you can perform this and tell me answer. If my file size is 1 GB, and then find out number of pages and number of extents. Okay, it would be very huge. You can just try this tomorrow and tell me the answer. Okay, if file size is 1 GB, then find out number of pages and number of extents. Okay, now are you clear with the what is a log file and what is a log file extension, and what is a MDF file or MDF file, and what is a data file, and what is a log file, and what is a file group and all? So this is how you have to understand the architecture. Okay, but when you create a database, what all you get by default? So when you create a database, for example, I have created a bank database. You will get a one file group that is known as a primary file group, and you will be attaching with one .mdf file, and you will be having one .ldf file. LDF file is directly linked, but MDF file is there within the file group. Okay, so this is by default you would get it. But if I need some more files, can I do it? Can I create or not? You can have 32,767 files for each file group. So you can create manually for other files. When you create manually, the extension would vary. The extension will become NDF. Okay, but when SQL Server gives, the extension is MDF. Okay, so each file group can have 32,767 files, but by default you will get only one. But if you need, you can have this one. You can also go in for secondary file groups. So one database can have 32,767 file groups, but by default you will get only one. But we can go for many file groups also. So when you create an employee table, Okay, when you create any table here, for example, creating a table, some table I'm creating, say employee table. So by default, the employee table data will come to this default file group. This data will come here instead. But tomorrow I'll create another table called department table. Now the department table data also will come to this one only. But I don't need, I don't want to put, all tables data in a single primary file group, then you can change the default option. Okay. Then you make it to secondary file group as a default file group. So when you make it to the secondary file group as a default file group, what happens is when you create any another table, the another table data will come to the default file group. Like that, you can segregate the data. Two tables data should go to first one, the other table data should go to the other file group. Like that, we can switch the data from one file group to another file group. Okay, like that, one database can have many number of files, many number of file groups, and many number of transaction log file. People may ask, can I create a database without a transaction log file? The answer is no. You cannot have a database without a transaction log file. So you have to have at least one transaction log file, and you need to have at least one primary file group, and you need to have at least one file attached to the primary file group. So that means what? One MDF has to be there, one LDF has to be there. Okay, then only you can start inserting data into the database. Clear? So this is what is a database architecture. Okay, so people would ask, what is a file, what is a file group, what is a page, so how many pages we can have in extent, and extent is logical. Logical means you cannot see, but page you can see. Page is physical, extent is logical. Okay, 8 pages are called an extent. Actually, the data is stored in a page. Page is part of an extent. Extent is part of a file. File is part of a file group. File group is part of a database. Okay, so this is what we have to understand when we talk about a database architecture. Any questions? Administrative and data allocation and placement purposes and unit for backup. For example, if you wanted to take Telugu songs backup, then it is very easy if you keep in a single folder. Or if I wanted to take Bhaskar's data, you can keep all the data of a Bhaskar in a single folder. It is very, very easy for you to take backup. So the need for file group is, it is